Hey guys, what's up? It's me again. I figured I'd talk about something before I head off. There are a couple of things I want to talk about. I'm going to compare the game clients that I've reviewed over the past year or so, starting with OSES games. I'm going to unplug this hard drive. I think it's been long enough. Oh, shoot. Oh, come. Alright, there we go. Alright. So, yeah. So, I'm on with the video. OSES Games is it's the oldest web game client. There used to be another client with 16 online games. However, that got taken down. I don't think the games were that interesting. There were probably card games and stuff, but I don't think they were that interesting. It's a site that is still up, but the games are gone. The forum is gone. Every user is gone, apparently. I wish they would bring stuff like that back. But in reality, all those game platforms like OSES Games, Quinton's Game Room or Playroom, and On Toys, all of those are sadly going away. On Toys is actually, according to Nodge on Discord, according to the website, it's been around since 2017, which is not that long ago. So in my opinion, OSES Games and Quinton's Playroom have outlasted On Toys. But I'll still play it. At the most, there's about 72 people, if at all. Now, there was one point where 2 people joined my table at random. It happens more so on Quinton's Playroom and on OSES Games. If you wait long enough, it will happen. People will join the room. And I think someone even spoke up. I think someone probably did speak Russian because of the fact that it's based in Russia. Well, the people that use it are Russian. But there might be some American people. I was on it this morning with Nodge, and I enjoyed it. So if Nodge from the Electronic Game Hub Discord server watches this channel or this video, thank you for giving me the opportunity to play with you. That is if you're watching this video. If you're not, then I still thank you. Anyways, I'm going to continue on. The amount of games, if I remember correctly, RS Games has about roughly around 28 games. If I'm not mistaken, roughly around 30 games. Let's just say roughly around 30 games. 28, 29 games if you include the chat room feature. The chat room was recently added. They wanted to compete with the Quentin C's game room. Well, technically, yes. Quentin C's game room, Quentin C's playroom, they have a free table where you can just chat amongst people. Quentin C's playroom is one of those things where it is, again, based in another country, but it can be translated to a different language. They used to support screen readers. Like there used to be an option in, for example, 2.8 in let's see, late 2020, early 2021. Yeah, they had access for they give you access to Windows. They give you access, they gave you the option to either have they had you choose your screen reader of choice, like Sappy 5, Sappy 5, Windows, NVDA, JAWS, System Access. But now they don't do that. Now it's just audio and TTS, and there's nothing for TTS. Now I'm guessing that they assume that, according to what someone told me yesterday or the day before, I think it was yesterday, that if you're blind, you're most likely going to have a screen reader running on your computer. If you're sighted, you're most likely not going to have a screen reader. But what I was thinking was, if they were to get Sappy 5 back, they could at least have the option to turn it on and off. Because why not? Or just have a blind accessible mode like some things do. But I know there's that person in the comments that's going to say, it's not going to happen. You know exactly what's going on. But Quentin C's game room has got the most games. I'm telling you, it's got 36 games. Plus, it's got a new arcade games section with a new game. I think it's called Magic Blocks or something. I'd have to go back, but it's an arcade game. They're expanding on their games. They're doing more advanced games now. I was thinking like, they could have a classic games. Oh wait, I think that's what they already have is classic games section. Why not just put a like a memory type game, like not Simon, but a memory type game, like maybe a memory matching, maybe. I don't know, just my thoughts. Anyways, now we're on toys. It's got a declining user base. It's got 31 games in total. Some of the games are games that yes, I may have heard of, but there are some that I haven't heard of, like Age of Heroes and uh, Gathering Colors or something like that. And then there's a few other games that uh, I'm pretty sure were Russian based, I'm pretty sure. But why don't they put more familiar games like Farkle and, well, I know they got Battleship, but why not? They got Poker, which is it's like a casino game, but when I'm thinking about a casino game, I'm thinking about blackjack. If they, I'm beginning to wonder if they do have blackjack, but um, I don't think they do. No, I'd have to go back in my review or my overview, not review, an overview. But the games on there, some of them like Yahtzee, Reversi, chess. They should put Monopoly of all games. They should put Monopoly. They should put Monopoly. I mean, they have football, but I'm beginning to wonder if I'm beginning to wonder what kind of football. If it's like where you have to like do something with certain cards. I mean, I don't know. I'd have to figure it out. But if they have a football game, they should add a few other games. But I'm not sure when the last time the client was updated and if it will be updated. A little earlier, I checked and there were like almost 18. There were almost 20 users online at that moment. One active server and 0 waiting. So that right there tells me that the best time to go on the client is when it's in the morning when there's like at least over 70 people. Now, in a client like that, a good amount of people to put on a web client, not a web client, shoot, on Toys game client would at least be 85 to 150, I believe. That would be a good amount. And if more people would register, I mean, there's a lot of people registered on the network thing. But if they were to, I mean, I have some complaints, but I'm not going to. They do allow you to do complaints, and I've heard you can actually create games, but they take a lot of skill and a lot of coding, and you have to know some sort of coding. To know what the languages of each game is ridiculous. The way you get into a game is some people have a rating like of choices, and if you don't have the amount of choices that they want you to have, Like there's one with about 888 or something like that. I could never get that. Like choices is like a currency. Let's just say it is a more modern game client than anything. That web client, that game client is about to be 5 years old. Or it is already 5 years old. I don't know. But, they could update the client. Seriously, they really could update the client. But, I, I don't know. Maybe they will. I guess give it time. And I believe what I got is the latest version. The mile by mile game, which is essentially 1,000 miles, that was that was copyrighted 2013. So that type of game, I think, is a newer variation of it. There are different variations. Like there's one, I think. To name a few variations of it, there's one that is a controversial version by Blindfold. By the creator of Blindfold games, Marty Schultz, which is Blindfold travel cards. There's no way in heck I'm gonna be able to play that because their games are broken. And how is someone supposed to know what to, like, how are they going to expect the action to work when it doesn't? Like, I followed the tutorial that was, it was the in-app tutorial, and it would not match up. Because that was back in, like, what, 2015, 2016 ish? Yeah, that is way out of date. And plus, I enjoy a couple of the Blindfold games. It's just, their version of RS games is ridiculous amongst so many levels. And another thing is, there's another version that it's actually called 1,000 Miles. It's got different sounds, but if you don't want to hear them, you could just mute the phone itself. But yeah, well, if you don't want to do that, you don't have to. Anyways, there are a couple of game platforms on iOS and Android. The ones on iOS, there are more. There's one more of them than there are on Android. The iOS game platforms include, like I said before, the Blindfold Games version of RS Games, which is essentially RS Games but with the Blindfold Games main menu structure before you start playing. There's another client called Audio Game Hub, which holds 13 playable games that you can purchase a subscription for. Don't blame me, but I think I liked it better when it was free, like completely. There is another game platform called Game World, and its sister app, Dice World. I believe they're made by the same company. If not, let me know. But they're both for iOS. But there's also an Android port of Dice World as well, but it doesn't get as much updates. Now, the Game World client for iOS, which is the only version, it has 8 games. There is Simon Says, Word Builder, Pirate Poker, I'm trying to think here, Trivia Trail, Ludo Palooza. There's 3 others. There's Hangman, and then there's 2 more games. You're gonna have to look at it yourself. But anyways, Dice World has Yahtzee, Farkle Pig, Threes, and another game. That's 4 out of the 5. There are more games coming soon, but I'm not sure when. Those are the game clients for iOS and Android. Android only has 2 out of the 4 for iOS. So for Android, it's Audio Game Hub and Dice World. There actually is a Farkle game, probably made by the same company, and it's just a Farkle game, nothing else. But it's pretty much the same sounds, I don't know. I'm beginning to wonder if they will release individual games, like Simon Says. Because all Simon Says is you swipe up, down, left, right, and you hear different sounds, 2 of which might be familiar if you've played the Touch Simon. Speaking of, there are mobile games for iOS and Android, some of which are voiceover and talkback compatible. What I mean is, you can use voiceover and talkback for them. However, some games are self-voicing, like RS games on iOS. Speaking of, there actually was development on a Android port of OnToys. What happened to that? Don't ask me, ask the developers of OnToys. But honestly, is the app really necessary if there was one? Probably not. Because, I mean, okay, unless you have like certain tabs, they probably wouldn't even know how to lay it out. On Windows, it's just like an ordinary program, like I said earlier. Think of Microsoft Word, like how there's all some of them options, and then there's an application menu, like if you press Alt, there's a menu with options and stuff and settings. It's just like that. But I don't like how the card, like the mile by mile card game, is like. Because in RS games and Quentin C, they're in a vertical, not like, I mean, they're in an up and down, not left to right. But you get what you get, I guess. I mean, the layout, it takes some getting used to if you don't know about it. I mean, I'm glad they actually made it accessible for those that want to use it, and for those that don't want any screen reader. There are, I believe, there are visuals for the app or client. No, I just wish they would make a web client because, well, I mean, I could probably see why they don't do it because of the layout structure, but if they were to do it like in a website type thing. I don't know. Let's see. Well, I'm kind of getting tired and it's kind of getting late. I'm going to stop the video. So I'll see you guys later.